Hi guys, so as some of you might already know, I recently moved back to Szczecin after effectively being raised in Boston and then spending 5 years in Switzerland. And I don't know much about the city, but I was thinking that I would show some people Szczecin, my city, because it's pretty cool. And I haven't really seen a lot of vlogs, especially in English, on Szczecin, so I figured I'd make one. So yeah, anyway, I have my bike here with me, and I am inviting you on a nice little bike ride along the bike routes of Szczecin. So I'll see you on the way.
So before we get to our bike trip, here are some basic facts about Szczecin. It's located in northwest Poland by the German border and not too far from the Baltic Sea. Population-wise, it's the 7th largest city in Poland with roughly 400,000 inhabitants. Located on the Oder River, it's also a major seaport.
Okay, so I guess first on our tour, I will be taking you to the ARKONSKI park in Szczecin, which is sort of outside of the city, but it's a nice place just to kind of hang out, bike around, and, you know, get away from the heat, because you're essentially in the forest. So yeah, that's our first stop. All right, so we just got to this this park here, and sort of the main attraction here is the lake. It's called Głębokie. It actually means deep in Polish, and I'm not quite sure if it's that deep, but it has that name. And you know, you can get your French fries, your kebabs, and ice cream and all that stuff here too. So it's not that busy today, just because it's like a weekday. Okay, so this is sort of like an unofficial entrance here for bikes and just hikers and all that. So let's, you know, sort of ride around the lake a little bit, and then I'll take you to the center, I guess. Okay. Okay, so we are biking through the woods here, and as you can see, there's the lake right there behind the trees, and yeah, it's just super peaceful. It's quiet. Well, I mean, it's a weekday today, so not a lot of people, but you know, as you can see, there are some people out here. So this place, I think, is actually like a national park or a state park or something. So I don't think that they can actually develop here or whatever. It's kept wild. Ask for a better day today. I mean, especially if you're in the woods, in the shade, just kind of biking through all this, you know, fresh air, the sun's out, bun's out. Kidding, but yeah, it's just amazing. Couldn't ask for a better day. Just loving life. I haven't lived here for that long to, you know, really have an opinion, but as far as I understand it, Szczecin has a reputation of being the greenest kind of bigger cities in Poland, and you can see why. I mean, you know, foot by foot, I think there's more green spaces here than in the actual vicinity of the city than like, you know, like developed areas. So yeah, I mean, it's a really nice town to live in if you're into like outdoorsy things. Okay, so we are on our way to downtown Szczecin, and by the way, they actually have these little bike rental places here. I obviously have my own bike, but if you are a visitor to Szczecin, then you know that's available to you, and I think it's like $1 an hour or something stupid. It's not even a lot of money, so it's that's something that I would recommend for sure. Is, you know, just rent a bike and go out biking. It's so much better than driving around in a car or taking public transportation. Although I guess public transportation is also good, but I don't know, I just like biking better. Okay, so this is actually our next stop, ROZANKA. It's basically a rose garden from 1928, so it's quite old. But it's like it's a rose garden, but it's you know, nice and peaceful. Okay, so here we are, a bunch of roses. Yeah, it's really nice, and it smells quite potent, quite strong, you know. But the yeah. Anyways, so that's, if you're into roses, then you should come here and check them out. There you go. Now this rose here, it seems like it's fully bloomed. Okay, next up is the Omni Theater in Szczecin here. And it's really like, it's sort of in like another park, but yeah, like I mentioned earlier, Szczecin has a lot of green spaces, a lot of parks, but this is yet another park. Yeah, it's just a nice place to come and enjoy some music. So this is one of the symbols of Szczecin. It's like the 3 eagles. I'm not entirely sure what it's supposed to represent. I'm assuming it's some history stuff. Sorry, yeah. I have to brush up on my history of Poland and Szczecin in general, but in any case, you always see this statue on postcards and stuff from the city. Okay, so there's actually a little sign here. It's the monument of the Polish endeavor. Blah, blah, blah. The monument was unveiled on 3rd September 79 on the 40th anniversary of Hitler's invasion of Poland. Yeah, so it's some wartime monument. Yeah, it's nice. And the park's beautiful too. Oh, and right there in the distance, that green building, that's Szczecin's City Hall. Let me get a close-up of it. Okay, so I'm in the park outside of the City Hall, and there's a bike station here as well. So yeah, plenty of bike stations here in Szczecin. Okay, so I figured I'd show you the City Hall from, you know, from up close rather than back there. We couldn't really see it. There's also a little statue of the Pope here. Maybe, hold on, let me see if I can bike to it really quick. Okay, so here's the Pope. He's sort of a big deal here in Poland. Pope John Paul II, our first Pope, or Polish Pope.
I come as a pilgrim a pilgrim in the cause of justice and peace and human solidarity, striving to build up the one human family.
All right, so continuing on with our bike tour here through the city. This is basically the center, although it's not quite the center that the tourists are used to. But yeah, we're getting closer. So it's pretty interesting in Szczecin how you have a lot of these old buildings, and they're actually old German buildings. A lot of them are still kind of dingy looking, like this one, but then there are a lot of them that were renovated already, like this one, for example. Szczecin has a lot of these, like, kind of, I'm not sure what the architecture style is. I think it's Baroque or something, but anyway, they have a lot of these kinds of buildings here, as well as the communist era buildings like these. So this is Szczecin's main shopping mall here. It's called Galleria Cascada, which it's like Cascade Galleria. Okay, so we are in the old town of Szczecin here. And this is just the beginning of it, but yeah, you know, it's charming. It's a charming little town, and there's the cathedral. The spire was actually rebuilt because it was destroyed during the war. And the main kind of old town is in that direction in which we are heading. Okay, so this is what's left of the Szczecin Gate. You know, it dates back to whenever they defended the city from invaders, or I think, I'm not sure actually, but that's my guess. The white kind of spire looking building, that's the orchestra, and the one that's kind of the older one, I'm not sure what that is. I think it might be some sort of a courthouse or something, but I will check on that. There's a nice little church, and the white building, that's the Pomeranian castle. So that's our next destination. Okie dokie, we're approaching the castle. So this is where the old Pomeranian kings lived back in the day. Okay, so here we are, the castle. It's all white, it's nice. And yeah, it's an interesting architecture here. It's really quiet here today because, you know, a weekday, so it's actually a good day to come and explore, although there's like some school trip here, I guess. But anyways, yeah, so I guess this is where all the kings lived back in the day, and they, you know, they had parties here, I guess, or something. I'm not sure what kings did back in the day, because they had to take care of things, right? I don't know. Okay, and I think this is the main kind of courtyard here in the castle. There's a lot of scaffolding here. I guess they're renovating or something, I'm not sure. And there's like a little makeshift scene here for performances, and a restaurant. So, you know, just a regular kind of tourist place. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, I like the architecture. It's nice. Okay, and down there, that's the river bank, and that's what's sort of left of the old town. I will go there to show you up close. Okay, so this is Szczecin's old town. It's basically where all the tourists come. Well, not just here, I guess, but you know, where you can kind of sit down and relax a little bit, have some beer, have some cake, just chill out, I guess. And yeah, it's, you know, it's quaint, it's chill. So the river is actually the heart of the city. Szczecin is actually, it's like a port city. A lot of ships come here, and in fact, we'll in a couple of days we'll have this annual event called Dni Morza, which translates into sea days. I don't know, the days of the sea or something. But in any case, it's basically when like a bunch of ships come from you know, from different countries and stuff, and they dock here, and you know, there's fireworks and just a bunch of different stuff happening, a bunch of different like celebrations, concerts, you know, all this sort of stuff. So yeah, it's nice. Okay, so I actually decided to come down here by the river because biking here is much better than up there on the main street. You know, there's a lot of traffic or whatever, but here it's just nice and quiet and you know, peaceful, just the way I like it. Okay, so our next destination is WAły CHROBREGO, which is sort of like the main tourist kind of postcard-y type thing here. It's well, I think now it's like a naval academy, but I think back in the day it was like, you know, one of the castles. Okay, so I actually went in the wrong direction. We'll have to go back that way. Okay. Got to WAły CHROBREGO, which is like the main tourist attraction here in Szczecin. It's right in front of the river, and as you can see, a lot of people come here just to kind of hang out and stuff. And we have some ships, and you know, there's just a bunch of stuff happening. Again, today's a weekday, so it's less crowded than it usually is. They're actually setting up a makeshift beer hall down on that little patch of grass because of the upcoming festivities in the city. So anyway, this is sort of the last stop on our journey here, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any comments, or if you're from Szczecin and a bunch of what I said is total BS, which is entirely possible, please comment below or get in touch with me. Have a nice day, guys. Take care. Bye.